Welcome everyone to the Survival and Marketing Plan for Business Owners. Today I'm going to share with you the things I think you need to be thinking about and doing right now to give yourself the best chance of A, surviving through this challenging period, an interesting period, and B, coming out of it ready to go and be much stronger than perhaps you were going into it. And I think there will have to be some changes going forwards, but there's plenty you can do, and most of it's straightforward, doesn't cost a lot, doesn't take a lot of time. But marketing, it's always consistency that is the reward, that gives you the reward. If you can do everything you agree to do consistently, it will make a huge difference. So what am I going to cover today? If I can get my mouse to work, I'm going to cover, just wave to my neighbour, joys of working from home. I'm going to cover mindset, where you need to be now, where your head needs to be to make sure that you are doing the best you can for your business and for yourself. We're going to look at marketing fundamentals. These are the things that many business owners don't know or understand, and I see it as my duty to educate you, because if you can understand these marketing fundamentals, it means that your marketing decisions going forwards will be much better than they were before. You won't spend money on the wrong things. You'll get better results and more quickly, and isn't that what we're all after? Then going to move on to getting your marketing fit, telling you the things that you need to do to in your business now and going forwards. And I'm going to give you a marketing plan, and there's a stack of resources come with this, which are at the URL at the bottom of the slides, nickjervis.com/resources. You'll find them in there, and I think you'll find them helpful. I'll go through them later on in the call and mention them as we go through. So mindset, the first thing I want to say is talk about your competition. I know as business owners, we can sometimes become fixated on competition. But at the moment, a lot of your competitors have frozen still and aren't doing anything out there, which is completely the wrong thing to be doing. It's a benefit for you because you're not going to do that, because I'm going to make sure you don't. But you need to be talking to your audience, your clients, who better understands where they are now, what they're thinking, what they're worrying about than you. You know, that's your job, to be inside your clients' heads. So you need to be talking to them and suggesting what they can do, much like I'm doing with you now. I know what business owners are thinking because I spend a lot of time talking to them and helping them, working with them. I know the fears and concerns they face. And so hopefully by doing things like this webinar, the emails I've been sending out, you find that helpful, and it makes you take the action you need to make things much better for your business. The good side of your competition not doing anything is that it leaves a big gap in the marketplace for you to stride into and to start doing things and take away their business, their clients, so that when they come back and suddenly expect everyone to just be waiting for them as they were before, they're not, because you've taken them over. I've had clients starting Google Ads campaigns, starting email marketing campaigns right now because they've realized that there's an opportunity now. And there really is. Some of the cost per click that I'm seeing for my clients' accounts are a lot less because there's less competition for that traffic. So you can get the visitors to your website, eager visitors ready to buy your services for cheaper than you might have been able to a couple of months ago when everything was normal. So there's opportunities out there. You need to talk to your clients. You need to be the thought leader for them, and to show that you understand where they are and to offer your help. And the key thing there is that you need to be serving your audience, not selling to them. So it's about showing them you understand where they are, telling them what they should be thinking about, what they should be doing right now. And then I'm not saying don't ever sell, but serve first. The primary purpose of every communication, of everything you do, should be to help your audience. The selling can come after that by offering further help if they want a strategy call with you, or if they want an in-person meeting, when we're ever allowed to do that again. But the primary purpose of what you're doing should be to serve them and to give them help and advice. And then by all means, tell them what the next step should be if they want to take the relationship to the next stage. But first, think about where your audience are, what they need, and you know what they should be thinking about. And that involves putting out your thoughts on LinkedIn. I know that some of you out there, Charlie, you particularly, do that very well. Telling them what you're thinking about, what's going on in their market, what they should be thinking about. Putting that on your blog. You should be thinking about adding to your website. If your website has needed attention, we'll look at this. I'll tell you what you should be looking at. But any new content you can put out there should drive people back to your website, where you should be getting them to either get in touch with you or to get onto your email list. And whichever one of those you go for, I'll explain on the next slide. So this is the bit, the screaming boy here is there because Nothing frustrates me more that I speak to hundreds of business owners a year, and some of them come to me having spent thousands, even tens of thousands on marketing. And when they explain what they've been doing, I know for full well that it doesn't work or hasn't worked. And when they say, well, how do you know that? I say, well, it's the wrong type of marketing for your business. This all comes down to your marketing DNA. There are two types. You either have a now business or a nurture business. And now, if you're in the now category, you're lucky. It means that someone goes looking for the services that you provide, finds your website, picks up the phone and gives you a call and asks you to help them. Nice and easy. If you're in the nurture market, which very much I am, and offering a marketing consultancy, people, sadly, for me, don't wake up in the morning going, I'm going to buy a marketing consultant today. Where shall I get one? Come onto my site, give me a call, and off we go. What they say is, I'm looking for some help growing my business. I want to attract more clients. How do I do that? They head to Google and they hopefully find my website. They download a free guide. Then I email them consistently and talk to them about what I do and what they need to do. And it gets to a point where they think, okay, well, maybe I'll have a chat with Nick and see what we should do. That's a nurture business. If you're in that category, and I know people on the call, quite a few of you are, you need to get people onto your email list, and that is your primary purpose of any of your marketing. So a now business is in the lovely position of serving someone that has an instant, a problem that needs fixing instantly. So obviously a plumber, emergency plumber would fit in the now category. If he said to people on his website, download my guide to fixing your own leaks, not going to work. He just wants to get them on the phone, get them in the diary and get them coming out. But in the nurture business, it's very much about that. So in the DNA category, the now category, you're going to find sort of estate agents if you're looking to sell your house. And I think a lot of people will be thinking that they will after this, having spent so much time at home, and perhaps they want somewhere bigger, and they might work from home if they had a space to have an office. Then that might happen. So a estate agent needs to get people on the phone or show them properties and then tell them what to do to take the matter to the next level. It would also include solicitors, my old life. So if you offer accident claim services, someone's injured, if they want a solicitor, they want it now. They're not thinking about having an accident in a few months' time. When they'll want a solicitor, they want one now. So the whole purpose of that website is to get people to pick up the phone and speak to them. Now the thing is, I've seen people in this now category, I've seen solicitors in this category who have spent thousands developing a website that hides the telephone number, encourages only downloads of free information in exchange for email address, and leads to no leads at all. I've had a couple of chats where I've seen the website and said, oh, okay, so your download guide is the feature of your website, but that's downloaded probably once, twice a month. And how do you know that? So it's the wrong type of business. And this is why it's so important and why I bang on about it all the time to my clients. If you get the marketing wrong, you'll never develop that pipeline, that steady stream of clients that we all crave as business owners. But when you get it right, it's absolutely very easy to develop that steady stream of new clients and to do that month on month and have a steady incoming stream of inquiries for your services. It's a nice place to be. So the nurture business, it is the longer game. It is about building that email list. It's about offering something of value in exchange for that email. And that can be anything. We'll look at that in a bit more detail, but it could be a video, a couple of videos. It could be a PDF, a book. It can be anything that someone is prepared to give up their email address in exchange for the information, the advice that you provide to them. And businesses falling in that category, as I say, my consultancy services, coaches would fit into that category. Anyone offering sort of most consultancy services, they're generally a nurture service. You need to prove that you know what you're talking about and that you can fix your clients' problems before they're going to ask you to help them. So if your website isn't all about capturing email addresses and getting people to give you those email addresses in exchange for an item of value, then you will miss out. So you'll have probably also included in that financial advisors that are looking to protect your wealth, set up trusts, etc. Because that's, again, it's something that you research first. Anyone where the instant need isn't there, where they're researching around your topic of expertise, falls into the nurture category. And if you then, and we'll come on to how you build your nurture website and what you do there, but if you don't get this right, you can waste a lot of time doing the wrong kind of marketing. Next is the marketing fundamentals. And I'm quite active, but I'm also quite lazy in business in that I want clients coming to me rather than me having to chase clients. When I left the legal world, I set up a franchise selling promotional merchandise, endorsed caps and golf umbrellas and that, like with companies' logos on. And in that business, I had to make 70 cold calls a day. From those cold calls, I would generate 10 bits of interest. I'd get 3 meetings and I'd get 1 sale. And I knew that and I could repeat it, but it was hideous. It was absolutely horrible. And I thought there has to be a better way to run a business and to get clients coming to me. And that's where my fascination and my commitment to do easy life marketing and to master it started. And when you get this right, if you do the right types of marketing, clients find you at the exact moment in time that they are looking to engage your services. They're motivated buyers. They are easy to convert. And they are not on Facebook, because no one goes to Facebook looking for your services. No one goes to Facebook looking for my services. If I was, for example, a business broker selling businesses, if someone tagged me on Facebook, if I were ever on there, but life's too short for me, so I'm not. But if I were, and they tagged me on there and said, Nick, look at selling your business in the future, I'd be interested. I might click on it. I might attend their webinar. I might download their free guide. I might go on their email list. But because I've never had the intent, I didn't go looking for the ability to sell my business, I'm not a motivated buyer. I haven't got buyer intent behind me. And that's vital. So that's why Facebook for most businesses isn't the first answer. Yep, it might be something that you use later to top up your email list, to grow it quicker. But if you want your life to be easy and to get clients that are motivated and ready to buy your services, you need to master attraction marketing. And that's where your message is put in front of your ideal clients at the precise moment in time they are looking for you. So that does involve Google. That does involve someone typing into Google the service you provide or information around it, and they've started that search. It does involve people that are referred to you because they've asked someone that knows you, likes you, trusts you, do you know anyone that can help me with this type of service to this business? And therefore, again, they've started the search. They're a motivated buyer. If you get attraction marketing right, it's so much very easier to sell to your prospects than if you try and hit down the interruption route, TV advertising, Facebook, newspaper advertising, where interruption is very easily summarized by saying if the person has gone to that medium and the intention isn't to buy your services, then it's interruption marketing. And no one goes to the newspaper to buy services. You might see them be interested, but it means that you have to hit a lot more people and spend a lot more money to get results. And I'm in a group with a lot of marketers across the globe, and some of them are fascinated with Facebook, and they tell me how fantastic it is to generate cheap leads, cheap inquiries, people that are interested in services. But then after a few months telling me this, they all started chatting about how difficult it was to convert those Facebook people into buyers. And I said, yep, like I told you at the time, they haven't gone looking for the solution. They're not motivated. They haven't got buyer intent. That's why they're not buying. So yep, you might be able to get cheaper advertising on Facebook, but there's a reason for that. It doesn't convert as well as if you're on Google Ads, if you've got an email list of motivated buyers, or if people are referring regularly to your business. And finally, just where should you be in terms of return on investment? As small business owners, none of us should be spending a single penny on any marketing unless we know it's working. And I'd say the starting point is 3 to 1. You should be getting 3 to 1 return on investment. So if you're spending $1,000 a month, you should be getting 3,000 in fees. And that's the starting point. You should always then optimize what you're doing to make it work better. And I have clients that have got sort of 30 to 50 times return on investment in marketing. But the only way they know that is because I make them measure it. And you have to measure every penny you spend. Once you measure it, you have to make sure it is putting more money in your bank than it's taking out. If you're in the lucky position that you sell retainer services or repeat business, you know that every client that comes to you, they might spend $1,000 in the first month, but then they'll spend $1,000 a month for 10 years. And of course, you can get a return on investment at 1 to 1 because that first month pays for your costs, and thereafter you're in profit. But it's essential that you know where you are. Don't ever get involved in brand building because no one can have enough money unless you're Coca-Cola to get there. And sponsorship, I know so many business owners that sponsor things and they say, oh, I can't really tell if it works. And it's a few thousand a year. And I said, well, you know, if you want to do sponsorship, it's like charity. If you want to give away, that's absolutely fine, but do not expect to get a return on investment. So if you're not doing the basics, if your business can't afford to throw away money on sponsorship, you shouldn't be doing it. Right, let's get you into some marketing fitness. And if we have time at the end, I've got some websites to review, some live reviews from somebody who've asked me to have a look. So what should you be looking at doing now to get people coming to you? Well, not surprisingly, I've touched on each of these things already because they're all attraction-based marketing, easy life marketing. We all should have a website, and that website, if it's done properly, should bring clients to you month after month. You should all have an email list, whether you're a Now business, a DNA Now business, or Nurture, because your past clients and contacts are the easiest ones to resell your services to. And if your Nurture business don't have an email list, then you're making your life so much harder than it ever needs to be. Referrals, buyer intent is behind them, because I head off to an accountant. I say, do you know anyone who can help me with this? They recommend a business, away I go. Google Ads is a fantastic source of getting work through the door. I have many clients doing Google Ads, spending a vast, a huge range from a few £100s to tens of thousands of pounds, but in every case, only because it produces more income than it takes out. So your website's sole purpose, what is your website meant to do? And it is literally to get your prospects' contact details. And I'd say it's slightly harder than it used to be. People are a bit more inclined to hold on to those contact details now, but it's still absolutely possible, still relatively easy to do. But so many people get sucked into the idea that their website actually has to sell their entire service. And that's definitely not the case. Its job is only to get someone to it, and once they're there, to get them to give you the contact details. If you're a Now business, it's phone me, email me, fill in an inquiry form. If it's a Nurture business, it's download in exchange for your email address. And to build that trust, there are two key factors. You need depth of expertise, and you need proof of your expertise. And the depth of expertise comes from having enough content around your topic, your subject of expertise, to prove people that you actually do know something about this. So if I came onto your website and found one page that said, I do this, I'm quite good at it, that's probably not enough. If I find 10, 20 pages around that, there's a depth of expertise that suggests you might actually spend quite a bit of time doing this. If on those pages also there's between 400 to 4,000 words, then I believe that you actually know enough about this to really take me to the next level. And that depth of content is important for two reasons. One, because Google needs enough content on the page to know what that page is about to send any visitors to it. And secondly, because the people attending that page need to be convinced that you know what you're talking about to provide in exchange for their contact details. And people always say to me, oh, we can just cut our website down and just have a very short page. We don't want to give too much away, or they won't use us. Well, if you're selling an expertise service, no one is going to be able to read the content and then decide to do what you do themselves. It's just simply not possible. Whatever the service is that you provide, it's not going to be possible. And secondly, some people are very much detailed people. They need to see a lot of content on the page to believe that you are an expert in your field. And those that are skim readers, that's fine. You can deal with them as well by having subheadings, bullet points, images, diagrams that break up the content, and they can skim through that and again get to the same point that they're ready to provide their contact details. In terms of the proof of expertise, once someone's at the point that they're feeling confident that you know what you're talking about and they might actually get in touch with you, then the proof of expertise comes from external endorsements of your expertise. So that means client reviews, it means as featured in niche publications or national publications, how many transactions you've handled in your speciality. So all of these factors will convince me that apart from you saying you're really good and you know your stuff, other people are saying it as well. You're featured in different publications. You must be good in this line of work. And that's perhaps the point now, that to get my contact details, I really do need to believe that you are the best provider for my job and you will be able to help me. And that's why proof and depth of expertise is so important. Now, the thing to bear in mind for your client reviews, a lot of websites I review, they have content on one side of the page and then reviews and other information on the right-hand side. What you have to remember now is that probably more than 50% of visitors to your website are on mobile devices, so they will only see the content on this side of the page. All the reviews get shoved to the bottom of the page and they probably won't see it. especially if you've got a 4,000 word page. So it's vital that in the first few paragraphs, you drop in a review, you drop in an early call to action, so that if I'm on a mobile, I can read a bit, think, okay, this sounds good, see a lovely review saying how fantastic you are, and then if I decide to, I'm ready, I can get straight on the phone to you or download your guide. If you don't have those reviews till the end, then people will start reading and I'm not sure, let's go back, let's go to the next site, and off we go, we've lost someone. So it's really important now that you think, they call it mobile first, you think about your user and you think about them being on a mobile, and you make sure, and it's well worth looking at your site on a mobile phone regularly to make sure that it makes sense, and think about your client's journey and whether that's good. And the other thing that's vital that I haven't put on here is it's really important to check your site speed as well, because Google not only reads your content, but it sees how quick your page is, your website, and if it doesn't like it, it will put you further down the rankings. On the flip side of that, if your site loads really quickly, it will put you higher up in Google. So it is well worth Googling. So if you Google site speed test, put in your domain, and it will give you a speed for your desktop and for your mobile. Well worth checking those and make sure that you're doing okay. It makes a dramatic difference. Once you've got the trust built in, and they've seen reviews, they've seen that you're featured in niche publications or local publications or national publications, they've seen the depth of content on the page that you really do seem to know what you're talking about. It's all about getting those contact details. And one of the biggest and saddest things I see on a website is that the website owner does all of the work right. They get them to the page, they've got plenty of content, there's plenty of pages of content in the section. There's reviews, there's calls to action, everything, or there's reviews, there's no calls to action. That's the problem. They get to the bottom of the page and the visitor is not told what to do. They're expected to go off to find the contact page, and work out exactly what they're supposed to do on their own, and I can promise you from big experience in this area that they will not do it. It's like the expression, don't leave me hanging. Do not leave your visitors hanging at the bottom of a page such that they don't actually know what to do and they don't know how to get in touch with you. And the two calls to actions, if you're a now business, if you're in the lucky position that people look for your services and will find your website and phone you on the same day, then your call to actions are telephone you, email you, fill in an inquiry form, and ideally 24/7 live chat hosted from you, not a chat bot, because nothing's more offensive than talking to a robot, but 24/7 live chat hosted for you. If you don't have an inquiry form on your website and that page is on its own page and not on your contact page, you will lose inquiries. I know because I've tested this. About 30%. Some people will not phone, they won't email, but they will fill in an inquiry form. If you don't offer them that option, you lose that chance. That's the now business. If you're a nurture business, obviously the main call to action should be that you offer them a downloadable guide or a downloadable video series or a PDF in exchange for their email address. And the most important thing is that guide relates to the topic on the page. So if I'm writing an article about Google Ads and how fantastic it is for businesses and how you use it, bottom of that page, you should find my Google Ads white paper. If I'm writing a page about consultancy services and how to market them, bottom of that page, you should find a consultancy download. So every download is related to the service that they've shown interest in or the topic that they've shown interest in. The difference with this, and people always say, oh, it can't be that easy, Nick, but the difference with this, I had one client who had a website, he had traffic, I could see he was getting visitors to his site, but he had no calls to action. Overnight, we put on telephone number, email, inquiry form, as I've just mentioned. He had a now business, and instantly he went to generating 5 inquiries a day for his services from nothing. It really was that simple that people just needed to be told what to do next. Same with nurture businesses. When you offer downloads, when you haven't done previously, and you suddenly see your email list growing at 5, 10, 15 a month, you realize what you've been missing. Now, my job is to make sure you don't miss it. So if you're not sure whether you're a now or nurture business, type into the questions what your service is, what your primary service is, and Christelle's going to filter those through to me, and I'll get to them at the end of the call. But I do want you to make sure you know which you are. So there's your website, simply adding calls to action at the bottom of every single page, because clients will not go to your contact page. Why should they? Time is too short. Can dramatically increase the volume of inquiries you receive. Email marketing. Do emails still work? That's a common one that I get asked. And all I'd say is if I didn't have an email list, I wouldn't have a business. And anyone else in the nurture game is in the same sort of position. I know unless you're a prolific networker and you're a business coach, and I've got a few friends of those, and they get most of their work from networking, but they have to be out all of the time. Now, as I said to you, I'm an easy life marketing fan. I want the clients to come to me. So that is adding good content to my website regularly, getting people to download my guides, talking to them about how they can grow their business, and offering them a free strategy call to find out more if they want to. That's what works for me, and it's what works for most people in the nurture category. So to grow your list, it is about blogging regularly, asking questions that your clients are typing into Google, answering those questions, and there's some great tools for finding out how to do that. You can ask me if you're not sure how. Answering those questions, offering something to download at the end. If you're a now business, it's still worth growing your email list. You should definitely have one because it's the easiest way to cross-sell your services to get clients coming back to you in the future. And all you do with that is when you're on the phone to a new prospect, you just say to them, I've just sent you an email, check I've got the right email address for you, click the link in that email, and that will confirm I have. Now, at the same time as doing that, you add them to your email database, and you've grown your email database. And I'd include in the resources pack a complete setup guide to the email marketing software I use, and it shows you how to do absolutely everything. Most of these resources you'll get are from the More Clients Academy, normally only available to paying members, but I'm going to make them available to you because I want to help, and I think it will show you hopefully the value that's in there. You might come back for more. In terms of why email works so well, I had one client who I nagged relentlessly to send more emails, sent an email before lunch, came back after lunch and found 8 inquiries for his services from one simple email. Emails still work, and they still work incredibly well. And if you're not doing them, you're leaving easy money on the table. So we don't want to do that, do we? Google Ads are, just briefly, in terms of what you can offer, I've touched on it before, but for a nurture business, a PDF guide to related to your services. So, how to if you're trademarks, how to register a trademark. For me, it's a Google Ads white paper, or it can be a video series. It could be a real book if you have one where you just ask them to pay the postage. It could be an audio series, or it could just be a one-page plan that they could use and implement straight away. Anything of value that your audience will like. And the best way, if you're not sure, test. It's very easy to set up a download form. Even before you've created the guide, you can put it on your website, see which one people like the most, and then go off and write it once they've downloaded it. And a little secret, that's how I prepared most of my guides, by offering the form before I'd actually written the guide, then going off and writing it as soon as people say, yeah, I'd like that, please. Thank you very much. Google Ads is amazing for now services because it should give you that return on investment of 3 to 1 that I talked about. So if you're spending $1,000 a month or $500 a month, you should be able to get $1,500 a month or $3,000 a month from your spend. And if you do that, why would you ever stop spending with Google Ads? You keep doing it because it keeps bringing business into you that is easy business. It's easy life marketing. Go to Google, type in your service, find your website, give you a call, off we go. So Google Ads works. For nurture businesses, you've got to be able to fund it until it starts to bring in clients that pay. So unless you're in the position that you've got spare cash now and you just want to grow that email list, Google Ads probably isn't the place to start. I run Google Ads now because I've been established for far too long, 17 years, and I've run Google Ads campaigns for, I think, 12 of those, maybe longer. So I've been using Google Ads for 10, 12 years. Because I've got the business established, and so I can invest in building my email list because I know it'll come back to me in the future. But if you're in a nurture business now and you haven't got the spare cash, don't start with Google Ads. Start with your website, your email list, and building your referrals. In terms of how much you have to spend on Google Ads, it very much depends what sector you're in. Some are more competitive than others. In some sectors I run, it can be as much as £40 or £50 per click that you spend for a visitor through to your website. Other times it can be 50p, and everything else in between is covered. Excuse me. So it very much depends, but for a smaller business up to 6 figures, you could probably spend £300 to £500 a month to get a return on investment. For a bigger business turning over a few hundred thousand, then you're probably going to be up around 1,000 spend a month. And for those that are into the tens of millions turnover, and I've had clients in that category, then they will spend six figures if it works, and it does. Had a very successful campaign for a number of years until the business was sold, spending six figures a month, and worked a treat. The thing about Google Ads is it is a speciality, and you've either got to get really good at managing it or get good at managing the person that's managing it for you. And it's relatively straightforward. You need to track everything. You need to make sure you're getting more clicks every month for the same or less spend. And you need to make sure that those clicks are turning into more clients. As long as those things are happening, you're getting a return on investment, fine. If they're not, don't keep spending money. I've had people come to me and say, I've been spending money on Google Ads for 6 months, a few thousand a month. When should I get my first client? And I'm 6 months ago. You cannot afford to spend money on Google if it doesn't return your money quickly. So you need to track that. You need to make sure it works. Same point on SEO, actually. Another thing, I often get told that, Nick, I'm doing SEO every month, but I don't really know if it's working. So I ask the next question, how much are you spending? The answer is normally always £200 to £300 a month. £200 to £300 a month won't get you SEO services. It will get you someone saying that they're doing something on your website. But again, unless your traffic goes up every month and your inquiries go up every month, you are not doing SEO. And so many people tell me they've been spending this £200 or £300 a month for years, and yet I look at their traffic and it's flat. There's no more visitors every month. If anything, it's going down. If you're doing that and it's not putting more money into your bank, it's not putting more clients into your business, it isn't working. Stop it. Spend the money on something else that will get you a better return on investment. SEO has to work. It has to give you more visitors to your site every month. If it's not working, don't take the normal sales script from the SEO company of, oh, well, it takes a few months and then a few months more and then a few months more, and it never works. You're a small business like me. You cannot afford to spend money on marketing that doesn't work. SEO rant over. Referrals. What gets measured gets better. And often I'll speak to, I used to work with a company that told me they were getting 50 instructions a month from one referral source. And the referral source had the audacity to ask this firm if they'd actually like to give them any money for all this business they're putting in their pocket. And they said, no, we don't do that sort of thing. So the work was taken elsewhere. Now, it doesn't always have to be about money, but it absolutely is your duty as the business owner to measure the number of referrals that you are getting into your business and to make sure that you reward the people giving them to you, and then to go and get more of the same. So whenever I ask, how do you get business? A lot of people always say, oh, lots of repeat business and referrals, recommendations, fantastic. Who's your best referrer? No idea, Nick. You need to know. You need to track every bit of business in. And if someone says, oh, Nick referred me, put Nick on a spreadsheet for January, one referral. If it's 2, 3, 4, once you know how much that referral is worth, you know how much to invest in keeping that relationship going and making it good and making it better. If you don't measure that, how can you know? And how can you go and get more referrers like that excellent referrer if you don't know who's the best? So a simple spreadsheet, a tab for each month of the year, record every referral in, and if you refer out, record every referral out, because then you grow the ammunition to go to someone and say, well, look, I've given you all this work. What are you doing for my business? And again, I've had so many businesses that I've referred out to, and I said, well, come on, what are you going to say about my way? And they said, well, you haven't really sent us anything. Okay, well, I'll send you a spreadsheet. There's all the people I've sent to you. Oh, actually, 10 of them have become clients. Oh, sorry, Nick. Yeah, we'll do something about that. It's not about being mercenary, but I do believe that life has to, there has to be, for a business relationship to be successful, there has to be input from both parties. Now, if that input is as much as you look after my clients, I'll be happy, fine. But you have to know that that's the case by speaking to the referrer and making sure that is what they mean. It is your duty. If you get referrals right, once you know who your best referrers are, then one of the resources I'm giving you in the resource pack is a LinkedIn training video showing you how to find more just like them on LinkedIn. Connect with 10 of them a day. Follow my plan for putting content out there and keeping in touch with them. It's all in the training video. And LinkedIn will start to bring you leads. As long as you remember that each time you post on LinkedIn, you get them back to your website on where you will offer them a download in exchange for their email address. Because if you're in the nurture business, that's what you need to do. If you're in the now business, you will offer them a free inquiry. So LinkedIn works a treat there. Christelle, have you got any questions in the box? If you have, ping them through. Give me a nod or a shake. Anything there? No? Okay, cool. I'll carry on. So I wanted to just show you the marketing plan, which again, I'll give you the full resource for each type of business. So if you're a nurture business, you're in the build your email list business, you've got to grow your email list, and this is how you do it. You blog regularly, you answer the questions that people are typing into Google when they look at your service. So for me, it's how do I get more clients? How do I find more clients? How do I grow my business? All of those sorts of things. They land on the website and you obviously offer them a download in exchange for their email address. The beauty of the marketing plan that I teach is you leverage what you do once or twice or 3 times. So we've blogged on the website. We now send the content of that blog to our email list. So we're using what we've created already to keep in touch, and we end with a call to action telling them what to do. We grow the email database by telling people, getting people to download our guide, posting the link to the blog on LinkedIn so they come back to our website, download our guide, and anytime you're speaking to any new inquirer, adding them to your database by saying, I'm just going to add you to my database, send you an email, please confirm it's correct. The other duties you got in your marketing plan is to check your figures every single month, and it astonishes me how many business owners don't know their web traffic numbers, don't know their email list numbers, don't know how many inquiries they have any month, don't know how many converts or what their conversion rate is, don't know the numbers that they need to make their business grow. You are fully responsible for those, and they're all there for you to, as a minimum, to make sure that you're tracking. Quarterly, you then review the plan and make sure you're doing everything on it and make sure your numbers are going up. If not, look at what you're doing and should you change something? Should you add something to it? Do you need to add Google Ads to it? Do you need to work on referrals? What do you need to do to grow that business? And there's a few notes with that one. In the Now business, same sort of focus. It's about getting people to your website. The beauty of the Now business is because you get instant instructions for your services, you can use Google Ads to drive people to your website now. And they will pick up the phone and get in touch with you. And then it's carrying on with the same, adding content to your website, getting more visitors. And going back to the point I made about SEO, I've worked with some clients for over 10 years. And I've always taught this strategy because it's been one that's worked forever and it always will. If you are put on high quality content onto your website that answers your audience's key questions, you will get more visitors to your website, and you will then grow your email database and you'll get more inquiries for your services. And I've had companies that I spent thousands on SEO in the past every month, and then Google changed its algorithm and our traffic went from up there to non-existent. But my clients that haven't spent money on SEO but have focused on adding high quality content have always got results, and that's all I've ever done on my sites, and it's always filled my email list and got me a steady and consistent flow of new clients. So those 2 plans are available for you in the resources section. And what else is in that section? There's the email marketing guide I mentioned that shows you how to set up your email marketing and get it working for you right now. So if you haven't yet done email marketing, you realize you're in the nurture category, you need to start doing it. This tells you how to do it, how to set it up, how to create the forms, how to add people to the list, everything you need to know about it. I've got the LinkedIn prospecting video, which shows you how to use LinkedIn every day to grow your connections, how to talk to those connections to get them interested in your services, coming back to your website, growing your email list. We've also got those 2 marketing plans for you in there with some information around them so you get a bit more meat on the bones. This slide deck, and also on the page, there's an offer for the More Clients Academy, where this sort of training, the in-depth training you're going to get in the resources pack is there all the time. And you also get, if you sign up for the mentoring option, you get direct access to me. And people always say, what is this mentoring thing you do, Nick? What's this room look like? So I just put this is what you get. You'll get your own mentoring thread where you ask me whatever question you like, and I answer you normally within a day, sometimes 2, but normally it's a day or so. And a lot of the time, if you've asked me to review a website or something in particular, I'll do a video, post it on YouTube on a private link, and you get access to that. So it's not just, I'm talking in the background now, it's not just a sort of lip service, so it's a full service. Some people use it more than others. Some people come in when they've got a difficult question, they're stuck. Some people use it for accountability and ask me to give them a prod every so often. But the mentoring service is there to help you get your business where it needs to be more quickly. Some people come in and stay for a month or two, but some people stay forever. That's obviously the preferable method, but it's there. There's no tie-in. With More Clients Academy, there's no tie-in. You join for as long as you want, as long as you get value from it. If you're not getting value, I don't want you in there, because you shouldn't be wasting your money on anything that doesn't provide return on investment. I think I've made that point a few times. So in a nutshell, there we are. I've got a couple of websites to look at, then I'll come to questions. I think I've seen a couple of things come in the chat box. Christelle, send me anything that's coming through. I'll take a look at those in a minute. But first, I've done these in order. There's quite a few, so I'll do 2 or 3 of them. Website reviews, as requested. So here's one, and I know Asim well. The first thing I'd say is probably, just because I expect it, I want a logo top left, and I want to say what you do first. So what's the business name and what you do? Obviously, in this case, it's your name, just like on my website, Nick Jervis. And what do you do? So for me, it's Nick Jervis, helping business owners to grow. What is your title and what are you doing? So leading business development expert, 12-month journey to success. How can we summarize that in a few words that tell me exactly what you do, how you're going to help me, and what results I'm going to get? Once I come further down the page, then let's come back to what we've been talking about now. What is this? Mastermind Group is any business group where you have more than one business in it. You help them with your expertise and they get better results. It is absolutely 100% a nurture business. If you don't grow an email list, you will never fill this mastermind group. So it needs to be all about getting me on that email list. There's a get in touch form. What I actually need is download the full mastermind brochure, or discover, what results I've obtained for clients in the past, something that will get me giving you my email address so that I can go onto your list, and you can then keep on talking to me about how being a member of this group for 12 months is going to change my business, and you can give me some more details. So that's very much the focus for that one. Next website, user training and therapy. The first thing I'd say is the website, we've got a strap line, but it's very small, very difficult to read. So I would blow that up and make it much clearer so that I can see exactly what we do, how we do it. Any training company, particularly around therapy side of things, I'd say we're more or less in the nurture category. There might be some occasions, especially if it's urgent, where we might go straight in, but by and large, we're a nurture business. So tips on parenting, then let's go to the parenting page. I've gone somewhere else, so that's a little more confusing. So what I would hope is I'd go to a page that would, let's try another one, study skills and exams. Okay, so it's sending me off somewhere else each time. So that's a big no-no. What I said to you is your job is to get people to your website, and once they're on your website, to get people getting in touch with you. So it should be all about getting me on that email list. So if I want to find out more about parenting, there should be a free guide to parenting, or top tips for find out what the biggest problem is. So if it's getting kids to sleep, top tips for getting babies to sleep quickly. If it's study skills and exam techniques, 5 quickest ways to pass exams at a higher grade than before. So all of that is about giving me a reason to give you my email address, and definitely not sending me off your website. And I have a big pet hate of social media icons on a site, because, as I said to you, I want people coming to your site. I don't want them getting distracted. So if I'm on your site and I like what I see, and I see lovely reviews, and I see lots of information, I'm really thinking this is great, then you send me off to Facebook, and now I'm looking at dancing squirrels. I've suddenly left your site. I'm never coming back because I've got distracted. So for me, it's a no-no. If you get people to your site, your only job is to convert them into inquiries for your services. Next one, Midway Premier Homes. I'll probably make this the last one, and then we'll go to questions. I want to make sure I finish within the hour for you. But the next one, Midway Premier Homes. So I'm guessing Midway is an area, but I don't know that. So If I'm thinking of moving to that area, it might be worth telling me where that is and what service you provide. Freelance evaluation, so that's good. We're going straight for the kill, and we're in property, I'm guessing. So good, there we go. Straight for the information. What I might say is it's done the right way, because it's asking for impersonal details first. Once I get to the point that I've given that information, and I wouldn't have a clue how many square feet my house is, so it's good that that's optional. Then I assume we go to the point where we put in contact details and you follow up. That's the right way to do it. Hopefully you also add people straight to your emailing list, and you keep in touch with them, talk to them incessantly until they use your services. Basically, keep sending them your latest properties if they're looking to buy in the area, until they disappear. I was talking to a friend who was telling me a story how this real estate person in the States had started a business something like 15 years ago, had sent out their printed newsletter to somebody who had inquired those 15 years ago, had never had a chat, never had an instruction. By the time that person was ready to buy, it was a property in the multi-millions, and they were the only person that the person buying was talking to, because they'd been convinced of their expertise. 15 years of hard copy newsletter sales. That's pretty impressive. So yeah, I think explain more of what we do, where it is, and then yeah, get your own email list doing that bit well, it would seem. So Christelle sent me something through. I've got a question. I've asked her to filter, so it's a bit easier. Gosh, what's that? What does that even mean, Charlie? I've got a question which I'm not sure of the answer. I'm going to unmute you, Charlie, if you're still. Where are you? Can you hear me, Charlie?
Indeed, Nick. Yeah, somebody asked the questions of where do you put your blog out to other than your email list, and I just thought I'd answer the ones that worked for me.
Yeah.
A site called Energy Central, which is an American site. The beauty of Energy Central is that when I switch stuff across to LinkedIn, it doesn't come from me. It comes from Energy Central, who are a vague, nebulous organisation that sound impressive, and it's got a lot of interest in the energy community. So between the two, there are synergies between doing that, and then I ultimately try and bring them back to my site, which is in the process of upgrading.
And do you capture emails there, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm improving on that. You roughed me up, as you enjoy doing a few times. I've taken on board some of that, and helped me improve that, and so it's bearing a few results on.
Good. And has it made more sense than putting more meat on the bones of why you need to capture data because of the service you provide?
This is very slick. I must say the getting rid of the noise around marketing for me has been very good. So it's starting to improve, and my next challenge is exactly what you're saying, to make sure that when people do go, there is the opportunity for them to leave their names and details, and then I'll upgrade the rather nebulous distribution list that I'm putting in place. I've started on the updates as well. I don't call it a newsletter.
No, good.
Just started it on updates. I put a bit in there as well. There's enough meat in there to intrigue people. And I'm
always end with a call to action. Tell them to reply or for you to get in touch.
It's not, well, I should have put my website for review perhaps, but it's not bad, but I will review that afterwards as well to make sure it's on every page and visible across all platforms as well.
Yeah, good man. And the key thing is, I'm not saying don't do the other option as well. So if you're a nurture business, primarily go for the download, but also put your phone number and email and contact form on there just for those that are desperate. Maybe someone has heard about you several times and is at the point that they are ready. So in those cases, yeah, you absolutely need your phone number on there. But so many times I see people that have gone all out for one. I remember someone coming to me and they'd bought this training that was all about grow your email list, but they had a business that was a now business. And I said, well, no one ever downloads your guide, do they? No, they don't. But I love this type of marketing. I said, but it's not right for your business. It just doesn't work. So yeah, you've got to give people the chance of becoming your clients. You've got to make it easy for them, not hard for them. And so many business owners go out of the way to seemingly make it hard. And let's go for the easy life. Let's make it easy for them. That's what I say. Thanks, Charlie. Anything else?
No, it's the first. There are signs of traction now, and that's going to improve in coming months. And like you said at the head of this talk, now is a good opportunity. I'm used to working remotely. I'm familiar with some of the tools, and that gives me a head start. Some of my much bigger rivals, I think, are a bit complacent and are sitting back, and they're going to get beaten because of that.
Yeah, Yeah, no, good for you. You keep going. I know you'll get there. Good stuff. Nice to speak to you, Charlie. Jackie, I got your question. Oh, where's that gone? If you send out a newsletter, blog, do you want people then to go onto your website? Surely you want them to ring or email you. Yeah, if they're on your email list already, then absolutely. Your primary call to action is reply to this email, phone us, or whatever the step is that you want them to do. For me, selling a nurture service, it's get them on the phone for a strategy call. For you, Jackie, selling legal services, it's get them to get in touch with you. So email, telephone, fill in your inquiry form. If you include all of those, then you'll be right. What you should then do is obviously the content from your newsletter is you put onto LinkedIn, your other social media channels, drive people back to your website, and then that's where you want them to download your information. So your email going out to your list finishes with a different call to action to what you put on your website, because the email is, as you say, phone us, email us, get in touch. On the website, it's download a free guide, or phone us, email us, get in touch. But yeah, that's the main thing. If you're sending out to existing, then absolutely, once you've built that relationship, it's about trying to make the phone ring and get some more work through the door. Absolutely. I can see Abu Yudra. Yeah, you got some work going on your website. Good stuff. Okay, if you want me to have a look at it, if you've got any questions following up from this, by all means, reply to this. Same to everyone. If after this you think, oh, I didn't quite know that, or I wasn't quite confident enough to ask a question, please just email me. You've all got my email address. Just email me and I'll be happy to help. Any more questions from anyone, or are we all good? Christelle, you see anything else? Nod, shake? No? All good. Well, in that case, the resources are at nickjervis.com/resources. Access to the More Clients Academy and mentoring offer is on that page. Go and download the resources. They're all there ready for you. And if you've got any questions after this, just ping me an email. I will gladly help. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for that question, Jackie. Jackie's asked me if I've washed my feet. And there was an article I wrote many years ago. So I was at a dinner party with the parents-in-law. Sadly, mother-in-law's left us. But we were having this conversation, which I didn't really think we'd have around a dinner table, about do you wash the soles of your feet? And I know, well, of course everyone washes the soles of feet. You're in the shower, you lift your leg up, you get the soap, you scrub in between your toes, all around your feet. And to my surprise, there was about 10 people around the dinner table. Half of them didn't bother getting between their toes. They just slushed their feet on the floor. And that was it. That was the washing of their feet. So, by all means, shake your head if that's what you do, or nod your head. But yeah, the reason I used the article was because and it's still a great lesson, we all think everyone's the same as us. So particularly a lot in the legal sector that I work in, solicitors will say, well, I never click on Google Ads and therefore no one else ever does. It's like Google makes $33 billion a quarter from people clicking on Google Ads. I promise you people click on Google Ads. So if you make the mistake of thinking your clients behave exactly as you do, you leave so much money on the table, it's ridiculous. The only way you can ever answer that question is test it. So thanks for that reminder, Jackie. I will have to dig that article back up sometime and send it out there. But thank you all for attending. It's been a pleasure having you all, and any questions afterwards, please fire away. Goodbye all. Have a good evening. Cheers.